Adrian Lancaster's office was a palimpsest of past cases, a compendium of lost souls engraved in ink and paper, scattered haphazardly across his worn desk. A detective hardened by the fissures in the human heart and the fault lines of his own trauma, Adrian bore the heavy mantle of surviving a quake that had not only shaken the earth, but his very essence. The midday sun filtered in through the blinds, casting long, accusatory stripes of light and shadow across the room. The city of Orlando hummed quietly outside the window, standing like a mosaic of human lives, oblivious to the undercurrents of uncertainty. As he stared at the innocuous manila folder in his hands, the pulsating heart of Florida seemed to resonate with a rhythm older, deeper than his understanding. The file read Brother Ephraim, a charismatic shepherd guiding his flock, the Church of the Cosmos, through the spiritual labyrinth of existence. Rumors of miracles fluttered about him like ethereal butterflies, each more fantastical and absurd than the last. But what had snagged Adrian's interest, like a moth ensnared in a spider's web, was the mention of portals to other worlds. A knock at the door ushered in Esther, a slender, nervous woman whose eyes held an abyss of fear. She had been a devotee of Ephraim, a sheep who had strayed from the flock, carrying the weight of a terrible secret. Her trembling hands held a worn, leather-bound book, the supposed source of Ephraim's power. "Detective Lancaster?" she asked, her voice shaking as she extended the book to him. I think you need to see this." Adrian, with an empathetic nod, gestured her to the chair opposite his. "I promise, Esther, I'll do everything I can to help." In their conversation that followed, the room echoed with the dull roar of an unspeakable dread. Esther spoke of Ephraim's sermons, of celestial bodies and cosmic balance, and of doors to realities beyond comprehension. Her words danced around the edges of sanity, conjuring an image of a charismatic figure endowed with otherworldly charisma. It painted a tapestry that left him shivering with a familiar cold dread. As Esther left, the room swallowed her whisper. "Be careful, detective. You don't know what you're dealing with." Adrian, left alone, held Esther's book in his hands. An ominous dread clung to it, much like the dust that clung to his past memories. Memories of ground trembling beneath his feet, of lives buried in rubble, and of a world forever changed. He turned the first page of the book, the ink whispering tales of cosmic horror and the frailty of human existence. His gaze shifted towards the city of Orlando, humming its midday tune, oblivious of the cosmic symphony that lay beneath. A decision was made. The earth beneath him felt stable, but he knew as well as any how quickly it could shake, how rapidly worlds could crumble. As twilight gave way to a star-speckled night, he braced himself. He found resolve in his determination to protect, to bring clarity amidst chaos, and most importantly, to mend relationships, to mend his broken world. Amidst the modern urban landscape of Orlando, the Church of the Cosmos stood like a solemn monument to ancient, unknowable mysteries. Stained glass windows colored in nebulous hues captured starlight and diffused it into the silent sanctuary, painting cosmic portraits upon the stone floor. Amidst this celestial spectacle, Brother Ephraim stood, a charismatic silhouette radiating an aura of both comfort and dread. Adrian found himself seated in the pews, an observer amongst the faithful. The scent of ancient scriptures mingled with the faint aroma of fear that clung to the congregation, a sensation all too familiar to Adrian. As Ephraim spoke, his words cascaded through the hallowed hall, each syllable resonating with promises of divine intervention and glimpses of cosmic truth. Adrian could feel the pull of his charisma, but his heart pounded with an arduous rhythm of alertness. "Children of the cosmos," Brother Ephraim began, his voice echoing in the cavernous expanse of the church. "We stand at the threshold of understanding, peering into the face of the divine." His sermon was punctuated by a language Adrian couldn't decipher, a language that twisted the tongue and seemed to bend reality, casting ephemeral shadows in the corners of his vision. The congregation was entranced, their eyes reflecting a terrible beauty, an echo of the otherworldly. In the afterglow of the sermon, Adrian navigated his way through the entranced crowd, his eyes tracing the ethereal beauty of the church and its celestial motifs. Brother Ephraim, with his divine aura still pulsating around him, welcomed Adrian into his fold. "Detective Lancaster," Ephraim greeted, a twinkle in his eye suggesting the knowledge of Adrian's true purpose. "What brings a man of law into a sanctuary of faith?" Adrian chose his words carefully, probing Ephraim about his church, the strange language, and the rumored miracles. Ephraim parried his questions deftly, remaining shrouded in his mystical aura. Yet when Adrian subtly hinted at his own desire to mend his past, Ephraim's gaze sharpened. "There's a path to healing, Detective," Ephraim said, the words curling around the air with an ominous certainty. "A portal to a world where your past loses its painful grip." As Adrian left the cosmic sanctuary, the evening sun cast long, contemplative shadows across Orlando. He was left with more questions than answers, and the image of Ephraim's enigmatic smile was etched onto his mind. There was an inexplicable connection between the charismatic preacher and his own quest to repair the fractures of his past. He was stepping into a world far removed from his understanding, far beyond the reality he had known. Beneath the obsidian tapestry of the night, the Church of the Cosmos pulsed with an eerie anticipation. Adrian, the detached observer in a sea of devotees, watched as the somber pews of the day transfigured into an otherworldly stage for a secret ceremony. His detective's instincts hummed with unease, each note echoing with the vibrations of his own unresolved past. Brother Ephraim stood at the altar, shrouded in a spectral aura. His voice, now a sonorous incantation in the strange tongue, resonated within the church's vaulted architecture, each word bending the fabric of reality, giving birth to an uncanny rhythm that harmonized with the subtle pulsations of the cosmos. Adrian felt a creeping chill trace his spine as the congregation watched in raptured silence, their faces reflecting the dread and anticipation of the spectacle unfolding before them. As Ephraim's voice reached its crescendo, the air in the church buckled, shimmering with invisible heat. With a final guttural utterance, he tore open a portal, a scintillating tear in the fabric of reality that flickered with otherworldly hues. The congregation gasped, their collective awe echoing off the stone walls. Beyond the portal, an alien landscape yawned, bathed in the iridescent hues of a nebulous cosmos, a world of inscrutable shapes and impossible geometries. Adrian, now standing on an unknown precipice, gazed into the swirling vortex. His heart pounded a primal rhythm of fight or flight, a call back to the days of shaking earth. Yet, as the mysteries of the cosmos lay bare before him, he chose to fight. Fight not the portal, but the insidious fear threatening to engulf him. Brother Ephraim turned, his gaze meeting Adrian's. Within those depths, Adrian recognized the abyss, an endless well of cosmic secrets, and the terrifying power the preacher held. But rather than recoil, he chose to confront the menace before him. As the congregation dispersed, each carrying a piece of the cosmic experience within them, he approached Ephraim. The conversation that followed wove a narrative of curiosity, accusation, and veiled threats. Adrian's words hinted at his intent to expose the cosmic menace, while Ephraim responded with cryptic warnings. "Dangerous is the path you tread, Detective Lancaster, for not all minds can withstand the cosmic song." Adrian sat alone in his office, the hushed sounds of the waking city beyond the walls providing an eerie soundtrack to his thoughts. Esther's book, the worn-out pages harboring inky secrets, lay open before him. It was a manual of cosmic terror, the coded language mirroring Ephraim's sermon, a chilling testament to the reality of the otherworldly portals. A return visit to Esther provided another piece of the jigsaw. She spoke of her escape, how the cosmic promise had turned into a nightmare. "We thought we were being shown paradise, Detective, but it was pandemonium." Her voice quivered, much like the earth beneath them all those years ago, as she revealed her own brush with the abyss. "When I came back, I was changed. Things make less sense now." Brother Ephraim, now not just a charismatic preacher, but a harbinger of cosmic chaos cast an ever-growing shadow over Adrian's investigation. Their next meeting was inevitable, charged with an electric anticipation. As Adrian stood once more within the celestial sanctuary of the Church of the Cosmos, he was no longer a silent observer, but a challenger in this cosmic game. Ephraim greeted him with a measured calmness that belied the storm beneath. Adrian, holding the cosmic terror of Esther's account and the enigmatic language from the book, confronted Ephraim. The preacher, his visage never betraying his inner turmoil, listened in silence, his gaze piercing into the depths of Adrian's determination. "You don't understand, Detective," Ephraim finally spoke, his voice carrying the weight of cosmic burdens. "These portals are not my creation, but an inheritance from the cosmos itself. A burden and a gift." His confession spiraled through Adrian's mind. A terrifying realization unfurled like a dark nebula. Ephraim was but a puppet, dancing on cosmic strings. Adrian's pursuit for justice was not merely against a man, but against an ancient interdimensional enigma. Exiting the church, the cityscape of Orlando seemed altered, twisted subtly under the cosmic revelation. A chorus of uncertainty hummed in the underbelly of the city, mirroring the dissonance within him. His battle, he realized, was not just against Ephraim in the cosmic truth, but also against his own unraveling understanding of reality. The night hung heavy over Orlando, the stars winking ominously as if privy to the impending climax. The Church of the Cosmos, bathed in the spectral glow of the moon, stood at the heart of this cosmic tempest. Adrian, the brave voyager on the treacherous cosmic sea, approached its hallowed entrance. Within the church, an uneasy quietude reigned. The spectral choir of the cosmos whispered in the air, and at the epicenter of this silence was Brother Ephraim, the reluctant puppeteer of cosmic forces. As Adrian stepped into the chamber, their gazes locked, two combatants in an arena beyond human comprehension. Ephraim's silhouette, framed against the cosmic spectacle of the stained glass windows, let out a sigh that seemed to carry the weight of galaxies. This was never about choice, Detective. This is a path destined by the cosmos. Their conversation, a delicate dance around the throbbing heart of the matter, escalated. The church, now a battlefield between the man-made and the cosmic, bore witness to their confrontation. Adrian, with the strength of his past trauma and the drive to mend his fractured relationship, faced the cosmic puppeteer, a demand for resolution on his lips. The climax arrived not as a shock, but as a sigh from the cosmos. With a twisted invocation in the alien language, Ephraim opened the final portal. A maelstrom of spectral lights and unfathomable darkness twisted reality, drawing the detective towards its center. With a determination that matched the eternal celestial bodies above, Adrian plunged into the portal. A cosmic orchestra played a symphony of dread and wonder as he traveled through alien dimensions, time and space bending around him in a dizzying cosmic ballet. Yet through this madness, he clung to his humanity, his thoughts anchored on his mission and the people he sought to protect. Then, as suddenly as it had begun, it was over. Adrian, the cosmic voyager, emerged on the other side, back within the earthly confines of the church. Ephraim, caught in the backlash of the closed portal, lay unconscious on the cold stone floor. Adrian staggered out of the church, the echoes of his cosmic journey fading into the crevices of his mind. The terror he had faced was now a part of him, a scar etched onto his soul. Yet through this transformation, his humanity remained untarnished. As dawn broke over Orlando, he stood alone, bearing the burden of cosmic knowledge. He had faced the abyss and returned, bringing with him a resolution for the city and a chance at mending his fractured relationships. He was not the same man who had started this investigation. He was something more, a cosmic survivor. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like it and subscribe to our channel, where you can find more similar stories, and click on the bell icon to never miss one. There is plenty more cosmic horror to come from the Eldritch Tales Factory. Stay tuned, and until next time.